Hey, mommies, I'm Kamisha, the mommy support coach, and welcome to the MommyHood. And today we're going to be talking about stress and self care. And if you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, well, I got just the thing for you, and it's called journaling. Because let's be real, adulting is hard and it comes too much sometimes, right? And we need a way to cope with our feelings. So, what I want you to do when you're journaling is grab a pen and paper and let's get started. Right now, I want you to take down the tips and the info I'm going to give you so that you can start practicing it and implementing it right away. So, journaling is an amazing way to get out your feelings, right? Without talking to someone else, right? I like to do that. I like to be able to get my feelings out without having to talk to someone else because you can do it on your own time, right? So, I'm going to tell you my three favorite types of journaling, right? The first is a reflection on my day and what I would like to see happen differently tomorrow. So, what I do is I do my reflection. I write down what happened today. And then, as I'm writing down what happens today, I go back and reflect on it. And then I see what was good for me and what wasn't. And then I decide on what I would like to do differently tomorrow. It's a great way to implement new things into your day daily to help you feel better. So that is a great way of self-care by journaling what happened and then what you would like to happen, right? Next, the second way I like to journal is I like to do a feelings dump. I like to just dump out all the feelings that I'm feeling for that day or that time. So, say I'm feeling anxious, I'm getting some anxiety, or I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling sad, or I'm just having all of these feelings and I just want to get it out in that moment. I just do a feeling dump. I just dump out all those feelings. I write down exactly what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling it, how I'm feeling it, why, what, how, all of those things into that feelings dump. And the reason I call it a feelings dump because I'm not necessarily writing about anything in particular. I'm just trying to get those feelings out of my body, out of my mind, and onto the paper, right? That's called a feelings dump. And I'm telling you, it feels amazing. It feels very amazing to be able to get those feelings out um, and go about your day. The third way that I like to journal is called consulting with me, right? I know that might sound crazy, but sometimes you just need to talk to yourself. How do I feel? How do I want to feel? And then how do I get there? Like what needs to change, right? That's what I call consulting with me. I write down how I'm feeling, how I would like to feel, and then how do I get from how I feel to how I would like to feel? Like what needs to change? I'm telling you, you may think it sounds crazy, like consulting with me, but I'm telling you it works because in that moment you're able to just write down that feeling like what am I feeling like? Is this how I want to feel? And if not, how do I get to where I want to feel? Like, what needs to change for me to get there? And I'm telling you, it's so very insightful, so very, very reflective, and it helps you to move forward. Because sometimes we can get stuck in our feelings, right? If we don't let them out. So, those are the type of journaling I like to do. Those are my own like types of journaling. Like you may come up with your own as you go along and as you start journaling, but those are my favorite ways to journal, and they're like my signature journaling types. Like they're just something that I came up with along the way. I liked them and I stuck with them. But now here are some ways I like to journal. So those are some types of journaling I like to do, and here are some ways I like to journal. Three ways. So the first way is pen to paper. Classic, right? It's always the best feeling to be able to journal, put the pen to the paper, and just let your thoughts flow uninterrupted when the pen hits the paper. Like that's the most classic form of journaling. It's the most helpful form of journaling because when you put the pen to paper, something just happens in here and you're able to just free flow. And it's usually the best type, right? But sometimes you might be out and about and you don't have pen and paper. So these are some other ways that I like to journal, right? So then the other type of journaling I like to do is online journal, like a talk to text or a texting. Like I have a notepad on my phone, I have color note on my phone, and I use those apps to just get feelings out. And the great things about that is using it to get your emotions out in the moment, right? So you might be feeling angry in the moment, you might be feeling anxious in the moment, and you just want to write it down so you don't have to go and fuss somebody out or go and yell at somebody and you're like, let me just write it down. That's the best way. I'm telling you, because in that moment where you want to go and be angry or go yell, it's so much better to just put it down and then come back to it and have a better, more organized, focused, civilized conversation that is going to have a better outcome than if you just go and scream and yell. And another good thing about it is that that could be like a topic journal, and you can come back and add more to that. So if you want to add more to, like, you were feeling something, you didn't get it all out, something else pops up and it comes back to you later, you could definitely go and write down some more on that topic. And as you start thinking about it more and thinking about it and it's marinating, you can come back and write down some more, like add to it as you're going. That's the great thing about having that text journal, because it's always around. You always have a device with you, to where you can add to it, or you can do those moment spurts of when you just need to get the feelings out. The third way that I like to journal is recording. So, as we talked about earlier, when I said consult with me or just talking to yourself, right? I talk to myself a lot, because sometimes, as moms especially, you have to talk to yourself, because if you don't talk to yourself, you might go a little bit insane, because you forget sometimes what you're doing, you forget what's happening, you forget what's going on, or just to keep yourself, focused and organized. So another way I like to journal is a voice record journal. And when I can talk out what I'm feeling, and then I can come back to it later for reflection or to add to it, it's just being able to talk out those feelings. Maybe writing it down is not going to do it. And you're like, I need to get these feelings out. I need to do it before I explode. I need to do it before things go bad. And you just talk it out. And sometimes it just feels good to talk it out. And I usually do a recording voice journal when I want to get out some big emotions, some big feelings. Like maybe I'm feeling really sad, I'm feeling really angry, I don't know how I'm feeling, and I just want to talk it out. So that is a good way to get those big feelings out, by using a recording, like voice recorder on your phone. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just hit voice recorder and start talking. So now that you have some ways to journal for self-care, and you have some types of journaling for self-care, what I want you to do is go ahead, start your journal today, and share your experience with other moms, like tagging us and giving us permission to share, and just doing it. Like, what I want you to do is get started. Either pick one way. Pick up a pen and paper, grab your phone, grab your voice recorder. Do one. And either do one of the three I told you. Do a feelings dump, or consult with yourself. Reflect on your day. Try one. But don't let it keep festering. Just try one. Pick one up. Try it today.